if you want health and you want to feel younger, but you are super confused about the amount of information that is out there, and just maybe you grew up with habits that aren't really leading to a nutritional lifestyle that you would like to live, well, meet Tori. Tori's a nutritionist, and we're going to talk a little bit about fruits and vegetables today, and essentially how to get them at every meal so that you can take advantage of it. Because really it's about discipline up front, and then the discipline ends up becoming a habit, and then the habit ends up becoming a priority, and then the priority ends up becoming your lifestyle that you have around it. So you don't have to discipline yourself for the rest of your life. You just have to discipline yourself up front until you get that lifestyle thing. And the reality is you could go back to where you originally were, or you can have the energy and the good habits and the bowel movements, you can age slower, your skin improves, your joints feel better and stronger, you are able to continue getting older because you actually slow down the aging process. But you actually have, your brain works better, mental acuity, positive attitude, mood, you name it, and it comes back to your nutrition. So anyway, why fruits and vegetables in the first place? Like why we even?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, they're good for you, simple answer.
True.
A deeper answer would be, so you have your macronutrients, so that's your protein, carbs, and fat, and then you have your micronutrients, so that's like your vitamin A, B, C, and then you have your minerals, zinc, iron, and all that.
Those are all micro?
Yeah.
Not macro?
Yeah, isn't that what I said?
I'm not arguing with you, yeah. Yeah, that's what you said.
So
just confirming, verifying.
Verify the process. But anyway, so what they're important for is, so they help down to the cellular level. So constantly you have exchanges happening in the cell, and when something doesn't happen at the cellular level, that affects something in the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. And then before you know it, you're going to the bathroom every 5 minutes because your gut is so messed up. And then when that happens, you just have a crappy day.
You saw that coming a little too far out, didn't you?
I did. I was like, I'm just gonna go for it.
Oh man. Okay, so let's talk about the gut a little bit. Like, why would that end up happening, and why does if we're talking about like the mental component of just feeling better and having a better memory, better mental acuity, better cognitive function, better mood, what would the gut have to do with that, and why would the food matter?
Yeah. Well, like simplest would be like Thanksgiving every year. Like you just eat and eat and eat. Well, like what happens after you eat and eat and eat? Like you go take a nap, or you just sit there and you're just feeling like, oh, I'm so full, and like you don't do anything else. And like, imagine if that was like every single day. Like
of just stuffing yourself? Of just
stuffing yourself, or feeling like you have no energy and you're just tired and just something's off.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, just pointing at the extremes, or like if you eat a bunch of food that doesn't agree with you.
Yeah.
You know, like a super salty meal where you just eat tons and tons and tons of it, and you're like, the next day you feel kind of foggy brained and that kind of thing. Well, why do you feel foggy brained?
Yeah, well, because your gut, it takes energy for you to digest food. That's why you feel tired after Thanksgiving, because all that energy, your body's just producing that. And then your gut has its very own nervous system. And so, well, and like you're driven by your gut, like thousands of years ago, or probably more, millions of years ago.
Maybe billions.
Could be billions and
just
billions.
Amoebas floating around the ocean, Yeah,
and it's like same with that animal kingdom. Like they're driven by their gut. When they're hungry, they go eat food. When we're hungry, we go eat food.
Yeah. On some level, the gut is the oldest part of you. Not on some level, the gut is the oldest part of you. Like you have a brain and arms and legs to put food into the tube. So it's extremely important. But like you said, it has its own nervous system. It's called the enteric nervous system. And so if your gut is disoriented, or has something new, or has something going on that it's not in agreement with, it's going to affect your brain. Yeah.
Yep. And then we've all had those days where you're like, you just feel off, or you feel sick, and then you go take a poop and you're like, wow, I feel better. Like it happens to everyone.
Okay, so what?
Anyway.
Like, how does the vegetable and the fruit play in then? What do we get? What are we getting from fruit? So we're getting micronutrients, and the micronutrients help us at a cellular level to express the health and to do all the things that our body needs to do, all the little metabolic processes, so that we can live out our physical, biological stuff. What else? Because it can't just be that, even though that is a big thing.
It is a big thing. Also from like, if you think of vegetables and fruits, like they have fiber in them as well. So from like your cholesterol levels. So the reason that Cheerios are heart healthy is because they have fiber in them. And so what happens?
Cheerios have fiber?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Jeepers. But anyway, when you eat the fiber, the cholesterol attaches to that fiber and then you expel it from your body. If you don't have fiber, then that cholesterol stays there and the levels just creep up because your body makes its own cholesterol. And so if it has to make more cholesterol, then it just kind of keeps everything cycling through versus that buildup that you see. And then that if you don't get rid of the cholesterol, then that's when you start having problems and then heart problems and then like eventually. So eat your fiber.
Yeah, you wouldn't have
Fruits
fiber.
and
I mean,
vegetables.
fiber keeps things moving, and there are different types of fiber. So you have insoluble versus soluble fiber. Soluble fiber would be more like the sludge that you experience with oatmeal or cooking an apple, whereas insoluble fiber would be more like a freight train, like pushing everything through, like a salad. So you want to have a good mixture of both, but where do you get those? Where do you get the soluble and insoluble fiber?
Well, from your diet.
Yeah, but what in your diet?
Fruits and vegetables, man. Look at that.
All right,
All wrapped up.
So what kind of fruits and vegetables are we looking at? Because on some level you could sit there and be like, well, flour was originally wheat, which was a form of vegetation, and so if I eat the cookie, I'm eating my vegetables.
We all know that's a reach. We all know. If you have to explain it, like I eat carrot cake because there's carrots in it.
What?
Yeah, so it's
I eat
healthy.
carrot cake for my eyesight, though.
Yeah, with that vitamin A, man. Carrots. We all know it's a reach. We all know that fruits and vegetables, so the apple from the tree, not the kids' applesauce that has like a
You're a
crap
nerd.
of, I know I am, a bunch of like sugar, or versus like the apples and the apple pie. Like there's a reason it tastes so good because they put a bunch of stuff in there. And like fruits and vegetables, I actually enjoy them and they taste good.
Yeah.
But if you're the type of person where you just don't like the taste, well, you can cook them.
Yeah, and there is something too, like cooking does change the thing. So you cook an apple and it's going to taste sweeter because you broke down some of the sugars and that kind of thing. But also, cooking food does change the bioavailability of the food that you did cook. So why? Like what's going on there?
Just the way that, so like if you eat spinach raw, I won't quote me on this, it's been a while since I read and learned all this, but if you eat spinach raw, then it's going to take certain nutrients from it versus if you cook it, the nutrients have changed their bioavailability. Wow. And so what that means, just like the structure of the different molecules have changed, and now your body can better absorb it.
Yeah.
It might not be like the same nutrients, but it's still different. So essentially, it's like you're eating two different vegetables where you're just...
So that's bioavailability, and at its most basic, you're breaking down the food before your digestive system has the chance to break down the food further. I mean,
Right.
And from an anthropology standpoint, back in the day we started cooking food, and our bodies dropped our gut. So we have a very, very short gut for the animal kingdom. So really, we have to cook our food to get the most nutrients out of it. Anyway, so you do want to cook your food, or you do, not always, but you get some benefit from cooking your food. The raw food diet isn't necessarily so ironclad that you just want to eat all your food raw. But there is also differences. So like, what about the other direction, like frozen fruits and vegetables? Where do those come into the mix?
I'd say that you can either do fresh or frozen, whatever your preference is. Like, there's been studies done where like the nutrients in frozen may actually be held just a little bit better than in the fresh.
Yeah.
So which ones you decide.
Go ahead and film roll. We're shooting a video, but you'll be fine. Just be in the background. So anyway, so you're saying that frozen actually could have a higher nutrient density than fresh.
It could, yeah. Not in all vegetables.
Why might that be?
It's all about the bioavailability. When you change the structure of the food at the cellular level, then it changes the way your body takes it in.
Yeah, so how much did you cook it? How did you cook it? And when was the product harvested? So if you cook, like if we grab something before the ripening process, we're shortening the natural lifespan of that thing. So you grab an apple off the tree before it's fully ripened, and you're robbing it of the nutrients that it would have pulled out in the ripening process, which is a great deal. So so it's possible that foods that are frozen were just harvested a little late in the ripening process, and so they might be a little bit higher. That's not ironclad or anything, but it's possible.
It could be.
So we're on frozen foods. Do you want, and we talked a little bit about the process and why there's pros and cons to each. What about, would you just want to have, should I just buy frozen peas and that's all I should buy every single time and I just eat frozen peas all day?
Well, how does that sound to you, Adam?
It sounds like I'm only getting one thing.
Right.
Peas probably have their good positive qualities, but I don't know what else might I want to do.
What you would want to do is just think about trying to eat the rainbow. So getting different colors and
eat the rainbow,
like Skittles, but don't eat
that's what I was
Skittles.
Gonna say. I was actually thinking of Lucky Charms, and I was like, no, it's not Lucky Charms.
That's taste the rainbow, man.
Oh, well, I guess I don't know my junk foods.
Oh yeah, but I do. Just different fruits and vegetables are gonna have different nutrients, so peas aren't, for example, going to have every single micronutrient that you need. They're going to have some, but there are some things that you need to get a variety of.
Okay. So I need carrots and cauliflower and broccoli and spinach and, well, that's cool. Okay. Well, so you want a variety of foods, and if you try to eat a lot of different colors, you're probably better off.
Right.
And should I strive to have a vegetable at every single meal, no matter what?
You should strive.
That's probably a good idea.
How often are you going to get your fruits and vegetables in if you don't? Who's going to go, all right?
Well, what if I just get them all at night? I totally interrupted you there, my bad. What were you going to finish with?
Sure, you're going to eat all fruits and vegetables all at night.
I'm going to eat all 8 servings of vegetables at 8 p.m. every night.
Well, good luck.
You don't want me to eat them, so there's you don't want me to eat them at lunch and at breakfast, just all at night.
Well, good luck. So fruits and vegetables, like we said before, there's fiber in them, and they're gonna make you feel full.
Yeah, and it's the consistency of, so satiation, like that feeling full, and then the consistency of getting used to having them as a lifestyle, and then also a constant stream of micronutrients coming into our system. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Cool. Oh my gosh. All right, I think that was the majority of it. What if people just absolutely hate fruits and vegetables?
Well, then, one, just try and toughen up, all right? You're not a little kid. You can eat them. But if you're going to fight and on it, real food is always going to be better than supplementation. But if you're just really stuck on it, then we have greens. We
do have greens, yeah. We have greens. Well, we don't have them, but there are companies that make greens drinks that are just fruit and vegetables that have been freeze-dried and made into a powder. We really like Barleans, but we prefer it if you got it out here from us rather than from Barleans. But yeah, that's an option. Also, another option is just increasing your palate, getting used to foods that you're not, if all you ate was McDonald's all the time, like McDonald's tastes amazing. Like they put a lot of research into making sure that
It
that
tastes
stuff
good.
is
Yeah.
a hyper tasteful, just like Doritos. There's that book, The Dorito Effect. Basically, it's this hyper tasteful food. So it'd be like doing, some drug all the time that makes you feel really good, and then coming off of it and being like, I'm depressed. Well, you're not really depressed. You're just back to real life. It was a false. It was false the other way around. So, on some level, do you think eating fruits and vegetables would bring you back to what food should actually taste like? And
Back to the normal, yeah. Well, that too, like, I'm sure you've listened to like one song and that one time you hear, you're like, this song's awful, it sucks, man. But then like the 5th time, you're like, all right, it's not that bad. By like the 18th time, you're like bopping your head, you're like, oh yeah.
you can do it without the music playing, yeah.
Yeah.
Zoolander was like that for me as a movie. The first time I watched it, I was like, this movie's super stupid. The second time, I was like, that's kind of funny. Third time, I was like, this movie's hilarious.
This movie's the best. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
So it would be the same way with fruits and vegetables. So it's consistency. Just keep trying them. And then if you don't like them raw, you can cook them. You can add some seasoning.
Yep.
It's not like, I have to eat this raw carrot. Like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Like, you can cook it. You can add some other stuff in it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you're still going to get the same nutrients in.
Yeah, you're basically treating yourself like a little kid on some level. Like, how would you get a little kid to eat tomatoes? You might sprinkle some sugar on top. And eventually, the kid would just not eat the sugar with the tomato. You can add cheese on top of stuff. It's not going to kill you. There's different ways to prepare the vegetables. And they can be very good. But yeah, you really are treating yourself like a little kid when you're changing nutritional habits. Like my mom had us try everything. You had to do 3 bites of each thing every time. Like no matter what, you had to do 3 bites. And at the end of 3 bites, if you still didn't like it, you didn't have to keep going, but you had to have those 3 bites. Well, eventually, like
you start liking it.
I'm like the least picky eating person in the world. Like, anyway, it's a good practice to get into.
Yeah, and then also like your palate changes over time. Like, say you didn't like carrots 5 years ago. Who's to say you still don't like carrots?
Yeah.
You can try them anyway. I like them now.
Yep.
Who knows?
Totally. Yeah. Acquiring the taste. So you just got a bunch of stuff from us, a lot of different, but it really comes down to just a very, very simple: have a vegetable and a fruit at every single meal. And potatoes don't count. Certain types of vegetation are not going to be in there, and you already know those that don't count.
If it's in like an internal struggle, if you go, well, I could, but then you know.
It's like, well, I'm having sugar is from a plant, so that's just you know.
have to reach for it, probably not.
Justification just doesn't work out there. So have a fruit and vegetable at every meal. It's going to do you a world of good, and it really can be that simple. Don't make it complicated. Like people are really good at making things complicated. We just did for like the last half hour.
That's true.
Just make it simple. Just have a fruit and vegetable at every meal. Fruit and vegetable, not or.
Yes.
All right. Anything else before we chop off of this one?
Just eat your fruits and veggies, man. They're good for you.
Yep. Keep
You'll
it simple.
feel better.
Yeah. You build you have to discipline yourself for a while, and then it becomes a habit, and then you prioritize that habit so it just bleeds into your life, and you never have to discipline yourself again. But
and make a plan to do it. Don't just say I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
Then you're not gonna do it.
Yeah, you got to buy the vegetables.
Yep.
You got to cook the vegetables. You got
to
pick out some.
Work it through. Write it down.
You have to play with recipes. You know, like people make this really, really difficult for themselves, and it doesn't have to be.
Nope. Just I'm gonna have an apple at lunch. All right, deal. Or if you're like me, have a banana every morning. They're delicious. I do enjoy my banana.
I do like bananas, so I'll give you that. All right. There's fruits and vegetables. If you do take this advice that was in this video, you're going to feel a lot better. Your body's going to feel better. You're going to have better progress. You're going to have less body fat. Your skin is going to be better and better for longer. You're going to have a heavier longevity. You're going to have more energy, better mental state. Your mood is going to be better. Everything improves with better nutrition. There are outliers, but there are very, 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 very rare. So the likelihood that you fit into what we have just talked about is
high.
Almost everybody. So anyway, hope you enjoyed and you got something out of this, and we'll see you for the next one.
Ta-ta. Adios.
Ta-ta.
Bye.